I'm supposed to be talking about today is from trauma to courage. Now, you might be wondering that I'm just a 20-year-old girl and what would I have to share with you, right? But everyone has their own journey, their own story to tell despite their age. So I'm just going to start with my childhood. I was born at a small village in Haryana, a beautiful, beautiful place. A really small village surrounded by fields and a beautiful river flowing by. My house, it used to feel like a palace to me. Maybe because I was just this tall back then. That's the reason it used to look so gigantic to me. There was this open veranda and I come from a big family. Like, I can count 10 cousins right now that I grew up with. So many people, so many memories, so much to share. You know, I've always been so happy and so blessed in my life. I never thought that something would change this thing and in such a sudden way. I never expected for that happiness to turn into grief or pain. Like, why would a 9-year-old child think that they would have something to cry about? It was when my father passed away. It was 25th September 2013. I got up in the morning and I heard some people crying. I didn't know what had happened. So I went to ask what's going on. So the elders in my family, they sent me back to my room and asked me just to go to sleep. Only after a few hours later, I got to know that my dad is not there anymore. I didn't understand what was going on. I mean, I was just a child. I didn't know the concept of death and that someone can just leave your life like that. I was told that my dad is now a star and he would be looking upon me from up above. And that was it for me. Only after a few years had passed, I got to understand what it meant to not have a person that you loved and held so dear to you not be around you. It was heartbreaking. There was so much pain that I could not talk about it. Not to my family, my mother, my grandparents, my siblings, let alone talk it with my friends. It was something I wished I didn't have to go through. But it did happen and I cannot forget about it. I wanted to know about him, what he was like, what he used to do, what were his hobbies. I just wanted to know about it. So I asked my elder sister. She's 12 years older than me, so of course she had much more time to spend with him than me. I asked her about him and we didn't have a really big conversation, but at least I got some snippets into life. We barely had any communication about him in our household because it was a sensitive topic and no one wants to be upset, right? No one wants to cry at all the times. My mom, she used to stay really down. Like, I remember when he passed away, she barely used to eat or have any meals or do any activities. She was just sitting right there. It was hard to take it all in. But she knew she had 3 children, me and my siblings to look after. She knew that there are people in her life that she loves so much. She can do anything for me, for my brother and sister. She's a woman who taught me what courage is. I'm really blessed to have such people in my life who taught me that moving on does not mean that you have to forget about that person. It just means you have to look on the part of your life that makes you feel full of love. And I had so much to love. I had everything. There are people out there who doesn't have anything. So why should I be sad? Why should I just stay quiet? You know, when I went to school and I told people that I don't have a father, they would be like, oh, I'm sorry, or they would just get awkward. And they would not know how to talk to me. Like, it's okay, take your time. Even I don't know what to say at times. I'm speechless, and maybe I am right now, I don't know. It is heavy to talk about it, but not talking about it at all. Why is it normal that in a society we try to skip all the topics that are heavy? Why do we try to escape from it? It should not be normal, right? If I'm in pain, let me talk about it. If I'm happy, let me share it with you. We all feel it, even you and me. We're humans and we are meant to feel. There have been lots of people who said, oh, you're such a sorry person. I'm sorry. You were so small. I mean, yeah, I was. So what? It's okay. He was there and I knew that he loved me, and that is what matters. It's okay. Everyone loses someone in their life. People loses their parents when they are grown up. I lost mine a bit early. But it's fine. And that is what I want you people to take from it all. We think that a sad person should be in a mold, right? But why? I need you to answer that question. Why should I be quiet? Why should I just sit in a corner and not speak up? Whenever I would achieve something, people would go on to say, oh my God, you did that, congratulations. But there would always be this sentence at the end. Despite not having someone in your life who did that. Was there a need to say that to me? Couldn't you just say, oh, congratulations, you did it? I am my own person. I have my own identity beyond my past and my fears and my grief. Now, the theme for this talk is breaking ground. What I want to break here on this stage is these norms that we have set up. Why we are not open to have conversations about mental health, about loss, about grief, about pain. That's right. You can just sit with a person who has went through that and ask them, how did you feel about it? How did you take it? How did you see it? Instead of running from the whole conversation. You might be feeling awkward about it. It's okay. We are fine with sharing about it. I mean, I might not be when I was a child because I myself didn't know any better. I was also brought up in the society. I was told, stay quiet about it. Do not speak up. I could not even talk with my mother about it. I could not ask her what you are feeling about dad. Do you miss him? I could not make myself to ask her such a simple question. My own mother. It is not fine. I know it's heavy. It is really difficult for me to talk right now. But I do not want people to forget my father. I do not want anyone to forget how much I was loved by him. That's why I'm here, and I'm beyond grateful to get this place to speak about him. I was in school and I had zero communication skills. I could not talk with my friends. I could not talk with my teachers. I could barely raise my hand in the class. So I got into writing. I started writing for script for my theater. I would write their scripts. I would write anything and everything for any event that I could. Then from that, I got into poems. And the very first poem that I wrote was about my father. I showed it to my elder sister and my friends at school. It made me so much happy to finally be able to talk about it. I didn't knew I had it in me to go and do that, but I did. And I know how it made me feel. Me and a couple of my friends from school, we started collecting donations every month, and we would go to orphanages would spend a day with those children and get them school supplies. I was so grateful when I got to see them all that I have a whole family to myself. I have so much to be thankful about. Why am I even crying? Right? When we focus on the sad parts of our life, the negative part, we forget how much we already have. We totally overlook that thing. You know, with just how it is set up in our brain, it's wired in here. We just can't only think about the happy things, can we now? We always have to say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm lacking this thing. But you have so much. Now, where did I get the courage to talk about it, right? I've been through depression. I've been through stages where I could not bring myself out of my room. I've holed up myself in a corner crying up day and night. So how am I able to speak here? I just want you to know that it is okay to talk about your grief. It is okay to go out there and say, hey, I'm not just going to stay quiet. If you think this is not something you can't talk about, it's okay. That's on your part. I'm here. I want to speak up. I want to speak up for myself and for all those people who are going through it. Because I know I'm not alone in this, right? I'm not the first child who had lost someone early. There are 5% children worldwide who lose their parent really early in their life. And that is not a small number. So why is it something that we still are not able to talk about? It is a huge societal problem. So why is it not addressed frequently? I want you people to think about it, to talk about it, to sit with those people and just ask them. It is that simple. Why is it? I've been saying so many whys because there are so many questions. I've kept them to myself, but now it is time that you answer them. If it won't be you people, then who is going to? You are the people I'm surrounded with. You are my whole support system, the people I have to live with, right? So, right now, I'm doing my bachelor's degree in computer science. Nothing big, nothing major. I haven't done anything great in my life so far. But I've understood how important it is to speak up for yourself. It is important to let people know that you're not fine when you're not. And it is okay to share your joys. It's totally fine. I've understood that courage does not mean moving on. There is no such thing as moving on. I can never forget about the things that have happened to me so far, can I? Courage means to accept it as it comes to you, to carry it with you, and to move forward with all your memories intact in you. That is courage for me. Thank you.